Well, it's 10 o'clock, so let's get started. Welcome, everyone. My name is Becky Rares, and I'll be moderating this session, which is an evolution to an open use of Sakai. Before we begin, I'll just go over a couple of housekeeping details. The session is being recorded, and you'll receive an email announcement once recordings are available. If you have any questions during the session, please type them into the questions box in the GoToWebinar panel. The presenter for this session is Alex Bayaista, and his background is that he works at the Universidad de Yada, excuse me for mispronouncing that, and he works at their IT service since 2004 when he participated in the deployment of Sakai 1.0 as an LMS. Later in 2005, he became involved in the first Sakai internationalization effort that allowed Sakai to run instances in different languages. For a number of years, Alex has participated in Sakai developments, bug corrections, and test sessions to improve Sakai. And recently, he was chosen the Apparel Fellow in 2015. And here is Alex.
Thank you, Becky. First, I would like to start introducing a little bit my institution. As Becky said, I work at the IT service of University of Lleida, that it's a small public university in Catalonia, that it's in the northeast of Spain. We have two official languages, Catalan and Spanish, but we are also giving support also in English to help foreign students to access our services. Now we are running Sakai 10.3 and we have around 26,000 sites created and 1.5 million resources uploaded. Our Sakai instance is maintained by the development team area of the IT service, where there are four people, Mireia Calzada, Xavier Nogueo, Mateo Villas, and me, and we are directly related with the project, but just a portion of time. We can assume that just 1.5 full equivalent time is designated to the maintaining of the LMS. Many of you already know that we have been involved to Sakai from the beginning. We were the first institution to run Sakai on September 2004, and yeah, it was a little bit risky, but here we are. Before Sakai, we were running WebCT, but then we started the process to migrate to open source solutions in many aspects of IT, like desktop, back office, and one of the angular stones was the LMS. We started piloting coursework from University of Stanford, and we also had interest in Chef. So when Sakai was announced as an evolution of the two platforms, the decision was quickly taken. We went to Sakai. So we translated to Catalan and ran it. And translating process was tedious. It was really tedious. Although the number of texts was lower than now, they were written directly in the code, so it took too much time to find and translate them. And after some time running, we started an internationalization effort with the help of University of Michigan to make this process less dramatic. We moved our written text to bundle files to let people translate it easily, and that will help to reduce efforts made in every upgrade process. We also are proud to say that our members of S2U group that it's a group of people that work in universities of Spain and also a business that work together in profit of Sakai. And we do acting as unique team with weekly meetings, coordinated tasks, development life cycle, all that stuff. And if you are interested in what we are doing, I would recommend you to attend the following session after this, that it's STU Small Steps, Giant Leaps. And now that you already have an idea of who we are, I want to show you how we used to use Sakai. How was our experience? I don't know if I should start with the sentence when we started using Sakai or directly go to once upon a time, because it seems too far from now. Anyway, we already wanted to use Sakai not just like an LMS. We wanted to use it as the main point for all the virtual activities that should be made in our institution. So we built our own representation of this model into Sakai. During all these years, we created different schemas of sites depending on their goal. Teachers used course sites for learning related. Every year we create all course sites at the beginning of the term, and teachers use it or not. But here they are. We have some community sites, like I remember the first one was to be created was the open source site, and a set of tutoring sites to meet tutors and students. Other more institutional sites like the intranet, human resources management area here. There are sites where to publish official documents, applications, forms. Other sites more open, used as communication channels, like different school or faculty sites used to send journal information to students, library service news, or just to provide information or discuss about the topics. I remember one of the first was a discussion about the European higher education area. And we have other sites more specific things like IT service support or complaint boxes. Another thing we did was to implement a set of tools. We did a lot, had tons of tools. We have tools used in course sites like our own syllabus based on competences, but we have more institutional tools like helpdesk or tools to evaluate teachers and researchers' work, to see academic records, teachers fill them. Well, we have a lot of different tools. Some of them died time ago, but there are others that still are alive. And along these years, we adopted different techniques to implement them. We started using the Sakai framework, using GSF, Spring technologies, Hibernate, Later, we built our own GIS framework over Sakai that helped to build tools that needed to access different data sources. It's called data collector. And we also have built some LTI tools, and for now seems to be our best option. But we'll see in the future. But we still had a restrictive model. And what does it mean? It means that although we had a set of complementary sites and tools to do extra activities in Sakai out of learning, we didn't let users to use it for their own needs. We didn't let users to create sites or upload resources out of course sites. They having a profile. Well, I mean, it's obvious that in the first version Sakai there wasn't this option, but anyway, we didn't allow any kind of account creation out of automatic process or didn't manage it by us. And why? why about this decision? Because we were looking to use Sakai as a platform beyond learning, but we decided to ignore the fact that to represent real campus world into a virtual environment, users had to have the chance to build whatever they need. So why this decision? Well, yes, it was just fear. Fear about how to control activities to avoid get out of resources like I don't know, storage, service overload. Uh, we were also concerned about security or inappropriate content. And obviously, we found people who ask for all these things. And we asked two managers about what to do in those cases, and always we had to give them what they asked. And because they were asking for reasonable and good things. But people who didn't ask just got the impression that Sakai couldn't offer what they needed. So simply want to use something out of Sakai. It was them because they thought that it was a problem, but it really was a model problem. And how we did change? How did we revert that situation? Well, year after year, we were concerned about this sensation was growing in users, and we wanted to revert it. So we decided to use more the features of Sakai to let people drive their own necessities in the platform. Because Sakai, in my opinion, always had been the best LMS to do these kinds of things. Our goal here was bring the flexibility to reach satisfaction wanted by users and let people create their own recipes to let choose how they will use the platform. So what did we brought the option to configure the workspaces with the two worksites tab, letting them to choose the tools they wanted to have. And as a consequence, we let users to have resources stored in the workspace so they could upload documents to use them later inside or just store them as backup. We enable a quota of 1 gigabyte or 2 gigabytes in each workspace, depending if they are teachers or students. We activate the profile tool to help people to find contacts, write their bio, create project sites with their contacts, share updates in their timelines, and use portable chat to have one-to-one meetings. Another thing we introduced was the possibility of handle academic sections in the course sites with the course management feature, and we also let them to change the role in the site, so they can easily bring teacher permissions to teaching assistant or a student. The most important feature we allowed was to create their own sites. We set the default configuration for 4 kinds of sites. Courses were thought to do learning activities from teachers to students using sections. Study sites to gather all people from all courses that set the degree or master. They are managed by the degree coordinator. Then we also have the learning project. It's a kind of site for instructors to let them build alternative learning structures out of academic terms. And finally, we had some sites to help students to have somewhere he could share documents, schools, have meetings with other classmates without using any alternative like Google, Facebook, you know. We restricted to 5 sites at a time to prevent to have free galleries or movie repositories, and we set up the quota to half gigabyte. We also allow teachers to invite external people to their learning sites or courses, and it's really useful to them to create inter-university work teams. And when we introduce it in a neurocampus instance, well, We waited to introduce all these changes during a major upgrade of Sakai version. We did it on July 2013 when we moved from 2.7 to 2.9. And now we are running 2.10, but significant model concepts were introduced then. We had to do some extra work on that upgrade. First, as every upgrade, we made changes to our set of custom tools. And in our development framework, that I explained it before, the data collector, we had also to implement entirely all the course management API to bring the flexibility to teachers to choose what sections were in each course. Mireia Calzada of my team did a great job with this. That implementation also consider different kinds of grouping depending on the lecture groups students are enrolled or from which study they come. That's because a lot of courses are offered to different studies at the same time. And we also had to modify the worksite info tool to customize some behaviors that we have here in the university. We also customized the appearance and built a known site drawer to help to categorize better the whole set of categories that we have. And we added some extra features that weren't by default in the 2.9, like the newest version of lessons then, the sign up tool, the peer review feature in assignments, Big Blue Button, video conferencing platform. And finally, in order to improve and promote all those changes, all these new features, we built our own help center with small tutorials and quick reference to explain people what they could do, step-by-step guides, all this stuff. And in fact, that was the summary of what we did. But did we achieve our goals? Did we increase the flexibility, satisfaction, the openness sensation? Let's see what happened. First of all, I want to show some numbers. People love them. Most of the times they mean nothing, but we love to draw conclusions around them. So let's see what happened in the first 2 years since we moved from 2.7 to 2.9. Users created their own sites. 136 project sites were created by teachers or students, 79 learning project sites by teachers, and 68 courses that are out of the official provided by automatic process. Remember that each teacher finds their course at sites at the beginning of the term. So these 68 are created because some needs another course split the official course by any reason. We can see also that 441 users had been added manually to official sites. People upload 128 gigabytes of files in their own workspaces and send 1,120 people send messages to another contact using the profile tool. And finally, 256 sessions have been scheduled into the Big Blue Button via Sakai tool to do their meetings. So what about this? Let me show you my conclusions later. Now let's see the reaction of users. What we did get the day after the upgrade? Well, people did not clap like in the picture, that's sure. Calls and questions were still received because they didn't know that those new features were already in our platform. It was our fault in the communication process, but when we explained how to do it, they were satisfied with the solution. Now, the progress we receive are more focused in user experience and particular functionalities of some tools. I'm happy because in Sakai 11 there is Morpheus. That is the new portal system that will solve some of these problems. A lot of work has been done on it. Currently, Universitat of Murcia members are really hard working on it, but need the community help in order to find books in the interface. They opened a page in the Confluence. Here's the link to help people to report them. So if you want that Morpheus happens, it's important that everybody help to report these books. And returning to the main topic, one good thing is that the people liked the power of managing student sections with the course management, and now are claiming for other kind of groups like first-year students, foreign students. For me, it's a good sign. And finally, my conclusions. Let me say that they are my particular conclusions, and maybe others in the same institution think different to me. I'm bringing the perspective of the IT service, and teachers or students maybe think different. And to me, all those changes were welcome. Not for work community, because a lot of them they never had those needs and will never use those features. But there were a lot of them that they claimed for it, and they were happy. Looking at detail, I could find some interesting use cases originated by users. There was a group of teachers that created their site to do video conference sessions to let the students make bachelor degree dissertation. There were the evaluators in a room with the cam and audio, and the students were in their own homes presenting the dissertations. There are sites created by students to share information, chat, discuss in order to present a group assignment. There are some test sites created by teachers to try out some functionalities. That is good because some of them didn't make use of some tools because they were afraid to break something of the course site. One that I really like it is a public site for authenticated users that was used to handle groups for an event offered to the World University students. They used it to sign up and handle it, waitlist lists, made final groups. That was great. And some other university staff used Sakai to create sites to discuss and open up polls to particular workers' question. And the best I found was a site used to handle a final year degree party. A student created the site, invited all the students, all the classmates, and they asked for restaurant menus, send notifications about the updates of the event. Well, great. The other hand, one of the features that we need to be explored is the social features. But I understand that alternatives like Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus are really adopted by our students before they come to stay here. So it's going to be difficult to change those behaviors. In my opinion, social features are important, but not as important as to bring real-time collaboration tools that will help students or instructors to work together. Now we have a powerful tool that it's lessons that let people create amazing content, but still we have the lack of the real-time interaction, changes, annotations, the history, but see what brings the future. And that's all. Thank you to everyone to be patient and attend this session. And if there is time, it's to do some questions.
Does anybody have any questions? We have about a minute and a half. Well, I don't see any questions.
Well, yes. So thank you for attending.
And thank you, Alex. And I'll stop recording this session and hope you have fun at your next session as well.